Hey guys, welcome to another van build video with Ken and Carol. Today we're going to be putting in the roof rails that we'll need to put on our solar panels or roof racks or any other things. This van didn't come with anything on top, but it does come with pre-drilled holes, and the pre-drilled holes are filled with like a plastic, kind of like a screw, and then they've put some putty on it, and then that seals the hole. Now that we want to put our roof rails in, we have to go up there, loosen the plastic caps. Another reason why this is probably one of the first things you should do when you buy your van and you want to convert it. If you want to put your roof rails on, do it before you start putting an insulation in, because now we have to actually kind of dig through our insulation to find those nuts that are coming down through. So this is, I've unboxed it already. It comes with 6 rails that attached together. It comes with instructions that my wife and I had to decipher, because this can go on the 170 wheelbase or it can go on the 144, and it's telling you to omit certain things. So one of the things that we couldn't quite figure out was why they gave us this gasket that goes between the van and the rail. Why did they give us a thin one and then they gave us a thick one? So this was
narrow and
narrow, right?
Narrow,
so this was a narrow and wide. So it just doesn't make sense, because this seems it should always be the narrow one. You don't really need it to be as wide as it is. So we actually cut 1.5. We've kind of done a few steps already just because we want to make sure we're going to do it right. The other thing too was they didn't explain where the washer, where the lock washer, and where the, obviously the nut goes on the inside, but where these 2 washers go. Do they go with the nut, or does the one washer go underneath this and this goes on the inside of the van? We don't know. It doesn't tell you in the instructions. So there's a few things we got to try and figure out. So the tools, some people use a heat gun to loosen the goo that's holding in the I'm not sure what they're called. I guess the caps on the top of the van. You can use a heat gun, but it's a hot day, the sun's on the van, and it's actually, I've already done 2 or 3 of them already just to make sure I could do it. So we're gonna need a knife, scissors to cut our Beetle Tape or Beetle Tape. I discovered that using this chisel was better than using a straight screwdriver to get underneath, just because of that edge. I use the pliers or the vice grips to grab the thing and pull it out or push it up. We're going to be using, this is the 7/16 socket wrench for our nuts that we have here. We've got our Beetle Tape, cloth to wipe the van down, make sure it's perfectly clean when we install these. And that's it. So let's go up top and see how easy the next ones are, now that I've figured it out for you. But again, this works the best for me. All right guys, before we go up on the roof and start to remove the plastic plugs, I just wanted to show you what they look like from the inside and why you're not, it's better to do it before you do all your insulating, because you just had to pull back your insulation now, look for them, and that is the plug. I've seen people push them up and out. I've seen people go up on top, break all the stuff off and push this down, but I like to rip the top off and then just push it down. This is easier for me. All right, we're on top of the van. Got camera girl Carol, and I've already removed 3 just to try them out to see what tool works best for me. And as you can see, the plastic bits are very, very brittle, and as I'm trying to lift them up, they're just snapping in half. It's not staying together. This is the one that stayed together the most, and that's the plug and how it's going through the van. So again, I started with trying this, and I scratched the van. Then I tried this, scratched the van, and then I went with this, and it works perfect for me. Again, there's a lot of goo we gotta get out of here. So I just put it against the van a little bit, just start to work it in, twist it, and just keep kind of working my way around. See how it breaks really easily. Try not to put too much pressure on, because it'll and then you'll gouge your van out. So to the 2 people I watched, one guy used the heat gun. He said just use it until it starts to bubble up, and then he removed it. Another guy, after he had done it a bunch of times, he just said it made it really gooey and it was a little bit of a pain to clean up. So he said it was such a warm day like it is today for us that he just removed them without the heat gun, which is what we're doing. So you don't have to buy a heat gun, although they're cheap. So once the top cap is removed, I discovered that you can just bonk it down and that's it. And now you have to remove all this goo, and again, just the fact that this has that little 45-degree angle edge, I don't run the risk of scratching the van, but as you can see, it's hard for a second and then it gives way, which makes it a little bit sketchy on scratching your van even more. So once that is all removed, we're going to clean the van with some rubbing alcohol, get rid of as much of this goo as possible. A lot of people say that the sealant that they give you, this gasket, they say is perfectly fine, but a whole bunch of people say it doesn't hurt to add more waterproofing to it, and that's why a lot of people use this Beetle Tape. Let's just wipe that up and see how clean we can get it. I'm not sure if this will help loosen it. Definitely helps clean it. Okay, so while we're here, I'm just going to prep this one spot just to show you before we go any further. So this is like a putty. Put that over your hole. Put the garbage in a nice safe spot. And just smooth it out a little bit, make sure it sticks. I'm going to put my finger in the holes just so I know where the hole is, and that will add extra protection for waterproofing. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, can't see, 9, 10, 11, I think, or 12 on this side, 12 more on the other side. So I guess it's time for a time lapse. Plugs are removed. We definitely scratched the van a couple times here and there trying to remove the gunk that they put on the plug. So I'm just using a trim clad rust protection, superior rust protection. So I'm just giving it a little, it's fast drying. Always do it downwind or upwind. I'm so glad we had this. You bought this for the flagpole or something?
Yeah, for the light post.
Oh, light post. So we're gonna, it says it's fast drying, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, you're gonna get me in a minute.
Is it blowing straight across or?
It's blowing that way.
Yeah, it's blowing that way. Hopefully it will help us with rust protection.
There you go.
And we'll do the other side and we'll just wait for it to dry. Okay, so all the plugs are removed. We've sprayed just to help with rust protection. Now we're going to Beetle Tape every single spot. Again, just cut out squares. We'll put them on, remove the tape, and then we'll just stick it down so it seals up really well. And we'll do that all the way around the van on every single hole. Again, just push like a little bit of a divot so you know where the hole is. because we have to line up these rails. All the rails are labeled. Each end has a letter on it. So this is a B. The very far one at the end is already an A, and then this side is a B. So the two B's go together, and then they go together with this little clamp. Push it on like that, and then that will go up there. And I won't put that together just yet, just showing you. And then over here we've got B to C. C, and on the very end it says D. That kind of confused me for a bit, but then I realized D means the end, and so I put a cap on the end. They give you 4 caps, so I'm going to be putting this one on first. And I am taking a chance and thinking that this is supposed to go on the rail, but I don't know, like I don't get it. That so I'm thinking this goes in, then this goes in, but I'm guessing it could have been, yeah, I'm thinking that's the way it goes. So let's put that there. I'm gonna put the washer in, slide it along. There's one. I'm guessing it wouldn't be, if I find out in the next few days that this is wrong, I can just switch it. It's not like I can't go back. So in the instructions, it says there's an optional end hole at the very front and one right here, but there's no hole in the van. So I'm guessing you could drill it out yourself if you wanted to. Again, something that I'll look into a little bit further, but it does say optional on the instructions, so I'm guessing it's optional. Makes sense, right? You don't have to, is what it's saying. So this is threaded, which is interesting. So I'm going to thread it all the way through until it's somewhat tight. So I'm going to put the joiner on. I've seen people have it like this and it's all ready to go. Okay, so there's our 3 screws. Line them up with our holes. Push down, and we're in. And I forgot to put this on. Let's do that. And so when I put the screws in the next piece, I will snap it into place. Look at Carol, way ahead. One more spot. Oh wait. Yeah, you got it.
You need tiny fingers to do. Oh,
definitely.
Darn it.
Especially when you drop it.
Ah.
Yeah. Like I said, they're very finicky. Like they kind of want to go in, they don't at the same time. Yeah. Okay, now we have B, C, going to C, and I'm going to roll it into that spot at the same time.
What's wrong?
BC. Why is there not a hole here? Oh, this is one of the ones we didn't have to put in. So we noticed that there is definitely another hole that isn't in the van, but there's a spot for the rail and it's right at the joining spot. So we have made a decision to actually put a hole definitely there. Not sure why, but I'm just going to use this drill bit to scratch that spot so I know where to put that hole. It is also a possibility, I'm not sure why they put a hole here, if possibly there's like a rib or something in the way. So I'm just going to go quickly check. 1, 2, 3, and it's at this seam. I'm just going to check to see if it's about 4 or 5 inches off, if I definitely have to do that. Okay, press stop. Just went underneath, found the seam, and there's nothing in the way. I can actually see both of these where the plugs were coming through. So now I can see this. I'm hoping this doesn't pull up our Beetle Tape. Good. So we'll just get that there for now. I have my scratch spot. Gonna get my drill. That's the one.
Wait. Aren't you supposed to put tape down on there so that it doesn't bounce off and scratch everything?
So I'm gonna put it like a surgical guy. I'll put that, just tack it down there so I can still see my spot. I think this is kind of translucent. If I had a marker, it'd probably be fine. I'd be able to see the spot underneath. Also, it's going to help us pick up all of our metal bits. Right. So after I'm finished drilling, I'm going to use the tape and pick up, because I don't have a vacuum up here. So I learned from the last time to adjust it. Hopefully it'll work. All right. I was gonna get some tape. Try and pick up as many metal bits as possible. This is working out great. Got a couple of pieces over here, a couple pieces over there. That's a great idea. Are you kidding? Freaking awesome. Way to go, Carol. Wow. Instant, easy cleanup. Let's let that dry for a couple minutes. Then we will get another piece of butyl. That's going to go there. Butyl. Hurry up, we've got a job to do. All dry. Put our Beetle Tape on. While I was waiting for it to dry, and while Carol was having a nap on the roof here, I put the nut and the locking washer in underneath just to see what it would feel like, get an idea. So let's put this in. And the size of the socket wrench, they asked for 7/16, but it was way too big. So I'm guessing that possibly they're changing up their nut sizes every once in a while, but they don't change the instructions. All right, so put that hole in there. There. Oops. Slide that in. Ooh, this is gonna be a little bit more difficult. Uh-oh.
Is that because somebody tightened it down?
Bad idea. Dang, never put it. Oh. I bet if I just take this one out, maybe. Sometimes you don't get too far ahead when you
move ahead. Oh. Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Oh.
Under? Is it?
Yep.
Oh.
Of course it bounced under. Where else would it go, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it just won't go in. I'm going to unscrew a couple of them. I'm hoping I'll be able to get this in without unscrewing underneath. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Okay, now we can screw this back in. All right, so all those are in. Let's slide that down to the last rail. All right, so in this particular case, what?
I'm just getting my shadow.
Oh, like what are you doing?
Waving at my shadow.
Waving at your shadow. Okay, let's see if I can get this in. Yep.
Can you tell it's hot up here?
Yeah. So we are all in. It's all good. So Carol and I are going to go downstairs and put all the locking washers and nuts in. Now we're going to grab a bunch of nuts and locker washers, and we'll install them in the van. Again, this is a 10mm. I'm not sure what that is in Imperial.
Oh yeah, look at the insulation came right down.
So it got, the drill grabbed it and pulled it and then yanked it out of the ceiling, which is not a problem. But this is actually good because we can now see what we're doing. So take off the Beetle Tape. Again, it's a little locker washer and a nut. There's one. This job's pretty simple. It's a nice relaxing job actually. There's no stress. So as you're pulling this down, you're squishing the rail into the Beetle Tape. So we're gonna do a little bit and then we'll have to go around all over again. I would imagine you don't want to over tighten it. All right, Carol's gonna do the next one. I'll hold it.
Thank you.
So I'll take off your Beetle Tape. I'm not sure if this is the first time Carol's ever used a ratchet.
Yep. So that's why. What do I do?
Yeah, put it on, and what you do is you kind of hold it, hold the that part while you're doing that. There you go. That's it.
Oh no.
That's perfect. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
I feel like it's doing anything. Oops.
Good job.
Okay.
Well, there you go, all done. Now we can put on a roof rack, solar panels, possibly a deck up here. Carol really enjoyed sitting up here, so I talked to her before about having a deck on the top. A lot of people love having a deck, put a ladder on the side, bring up your beach chairs, have a beer, have a margarita, whatever you like, and enjoy yourself. So Carol right now is just spraying and putting back up insulation that we got pulled down. So once again, Carol, thanks for your help. That was great.
Well, you know what? It's a team
effort.
Team thing, so.
For sure. It's great doing this stuff with you. Again, one more time to say it. If you can put your roof rails in before your insulation, then you don't have to do what we had to go through, which is pull down and keep looking for it and all that. So once again, guys, thanks for hanging out with us today, putting in our roof rails. I'm not sure what's next. I think we're going to do swivel seats, because I think we need the swivel seats in, and then lights. There's two things we need to have done by next Monday, because you're going camping and you want to have a few things. I have other things I need to do, but I can't join Carol on this camp out, so we'll do it. We'll do some cookout and something. We'll go somewhere. I'm thinking like Killarney or something with like one of those really cool, big, huge nature hikes up into those hills. Cool?
Sure.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for all your support. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.